morning, the mum of Hexham schoolgirl Holly Newton, who was stabbed to death by a jealous ex-boyfriend, has renewed her calls for more to be done to help young girls in unhealthy relationships. Today would have been Holly's 18th birthday, and she's been remembered in her hometown. Chris Conway reports.
Holly Newton would have been 18 years old today, but the chance to celebrate with the fun-loving and carefree teenager was robbed from Holly's family when, at just 15 years old, she was brutally murdered by her controlling ex-boyfriend, Logan McPhail. Holly was stabbed to death in an alleyway in the middle of Hexham. Today, instead of celebrating with her, Holly's family continue to campaign for a change in the law.
We really need that law change to recognise that under-16s can be victims of domestic abuse. It's so important that domestic abuse is, classified in under-16s, simply because then we can learn lessons, not just from Holly's death, but from other young people's deaths as well, or young people's experience with domestic abuse.
Because Holly was 15 when she was murdered, it was logged as a knife crime, not domestic abuse. But the teenager's family want the government to change the legal definition of domestic abuse to include victims under the age of 16. Despite the government saying it wanted to halve violence against women and girls over the next decade, Holly's mum feels unheard.
I am annoyed. I'm very annoyed that it's not fair that we feel unheard. We feel very let down at the minute. We just keep getting told that we're looking at things, but I want to know when and how. It's nearly 3 years and we've had nothing. We miss her so much. She brought so much joy, happiness and laughter to our lives, and we'd do anything to have her back here with us.
To mark her birthday, friends and family gathered in Hexham this afternoon to see a sapling from the illegally felled sycamore gap tree planted in her memory. The sapling is one of 49 trees of hope grown from the seeds of the famous sycamore.
We know that that's what the public really wanted us to try and achieve with Trees of Hope, and really bring people together and really use nature as a way to heal and move forward.
And Michaela, does it feel fitting you've been given a tree of hope, given the work you now deliver through your charity? Holly's Hope is all about giving young people hope.
It is a lovely, lovely thing to be gifted on Holly's 18th birthday. So we are so grateful for that tree, but it's very bittersweet that we're planting a tree for Holly's 18th rather than celebrating Holly's 18th with her.
There were also banners and tributes from the local community in Hexham today at the bandstand, marking Holly's birthday. Her family say they will continue to highlight the dangers of controlling relationships to young people as a way of honouring her life. A life brutally cut short. We're at the bandstand in the town tonight next to Hexham Abbey, and this is where people have been coming this afternoon to lay floral tributes to Holly on what would have been her 18th birthday. And seeing these tributes here, you really get a sense not only of the affection that she is held in, but also the fact that even now, almost 3 years on from her death, the tragedy is still at the forefront of people's minds here in the town. Now, after speaking to her mother today, we contacted the Home Office, and they told us they don't shy away from the harm caused by abuse in teenage relationships. They added in a statement, work is underway to explore every option to tackle teenage relationship abuse, including a review of the legal framework, prevention work and victim support. Now, Holly's mother has vowed to continue to push the government for urgent action. She knows firsthand the devastating consequences controlling behaviour in relationships can have.
Chris Conway reporting. New details have been revealed tonight of the police investigation into the felling of the sycamore gap tree. The pair responsible, Daniel Graham and Adam Carruthers, have been sentenced to 4 years each in prison. Early this evening, a behind-the-scenes documentary looking at how police tracked them down was shown on Channel 4. Tom Barton reports.
Daniel, are you responsible for criminal damage, namely felling of a tree at Sycamore Gap?
No. For the first time, the public can see and hear Daniel Graham's denials.
I think if I cut that tree down, they'll turn around here to say, how I work, where I was that day. But yeah. I didn't cut that tree down, so on that day, I didn't do anything exciting. Right. I didn't anything exciting last night or the night before.
And from Adam Carruthers, a chuckle.
Do you understand what you've been arrested for? You do. So you've been arrested?
These interview tapes, not previously shared with the media, released by police to a Channel 4 documentary crew.
Do you have any knowledge about who was responsible?
Well, none at all. I just had a new baby on the 15th of September, and my partner shared a cesarean, so I was around helping her.
Good afternoon, Northumberland Police. How can I help?
The programme given behind-the-scenes access to the police investigation into the felling of the tree at Sycamore Gap, and how detectives caught the culprits.
Sycamore Gap, tree gap.
The programme also details a key tip that was given to the police early in the investigation. Someone who'd spent the night in a camper van here at the Steel Rig car park near Sycamore Gap told them that he'd been woken up at 1 o'clock in the morning on the night that the tree was felled by the sound of a 4x4 engine being started up and driven away. That led officers to this CCTV showing Graham and Carruthers leaving the scene after felling the tree. Meanwhile, the fact that detectives hadn't publicly disclosed that a wedge of wood had been taken away from the scene proved key when an anonymous tip arrived naming Graham and Carruthers and saying that they had kept a piece of the tree. When the pair were arrested, this image of the wedge in the boot of Graham's car was found on his phone. As was this extraordinary video, filmed by Graham showing Carruthers committing the crime. In July this year, the pair were each jailed for 4 years and 3 months, the successful end to a complex police investigation. Tom Barton, ITV News, Northumberland.
Next to the latest in an ongoing row over the future of an abandoned fire station in Hexham. Renowned sculptor Sir Anthony Gormley wants to use it to store his work and maybe hold exhibitions. But Northumberland County Council want to knock it down and extend an existing recycling depot. Well, it was decided this afternoon to take the idea to a full County Council meeting for a thorough debate. We've been speaking to councillors on both sides of the argument.
The scrutiny committee arrived at the right decision that this cannot be rushed through. This is a very, very important strategic piece for Northumberland and even the North East.
Delighted it's going to come back to full council to be debated properly so the options can be laid out, the costs can be laid out.
What we need to do is to actually tease out all the issues in terms of the impact of having Gormley in the town for culture, tourism, those sorts of soft outcomes that, versus bin lorries.
I'm disappointed. I think the decision was taken for the wrong reason. I think there's a bit of politics being played out today, and we've been given a bloody nose as an administration. But I don't think there was proper scrutiny of the reasons behind our decision to plough ahead with the original plans.
And in tonight's football, Sunderland earned a point away at last season's Premier League champions Liverpool. The Black Cats' Shemsdean Talby opened the scoring in the second half. Shortly afterwards, Florian Wirtz thought he'd scored his debut goal for Liverpool, but it was eventually deemed an own goal by Sunderland's Nordi Mukiele. 1-1, the final score at Anfield. That's just about it from the late team. We're back with more news and sports starting in Good Morning Britain tomorrow morning. In the meantime, keep up to date with our website. Lucy's got the weather next. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.